First interval not too bad, just a little weird. It's been so long since I jogged, so just gotta get that muscle memory back. I was a little bit slower too, but I think that's not too much of a concern right now. Just trying to get repetitions in, basically. It's been 6 months since my surgery, about 8 months since I tore my ACL originally, and today I get to jog for the first time. So if you've been following my videos at all, you've known that I tore my ACL. I had a quad graft used for that, and I also tore my meniscus, which was repaired. With that, I was non-weight bearing for about 6 weeks, so really my rehab didn't really kick off until almost that point, because up until then it was kind of just basic like leg raises and whatnot, nothing too crazy. So, you know, my rehab started maybe around 6 weeks really for like my progress on getting ready to jog again. So I'd say maybe, you know, typically you're around 3 to 4 months when you start running again after ACL surgery. But with my meniscus repair and the time being non-weight bearing, I'd say that pushed me back at least 1 month in the timeline, something around like 4 to 5 months. But things have been a little hectic in life lately, so I'm around 6 months now, starting to introduce jogging. Just in the last 2 months since I last posted a video, I've just really been focusing on strength training, really getting the quad stronger, but also working around like quad tendon pain. I've had a lot of tendon pain here where I had my quad graft taken, and it just kind of feels like a stabbing pain whenever I really use that quad muscle and engage it. So I'm still pretty, I mean, I got skinny legs anyways, but a lot of muscle kind of lost in this right leg relatively. But yeah, I've been working on that. And then about 4 weeks ago, my daughter was born, so fitting that big life change into the rehab routine, or really my rehab routine into now being a father. So that's all been a big adjustment. So all that to say, yeah, I think if you were a little bit more focused, maybe you'd be jogging again sooner rather than me, but I think I'm okay where I'm at. I'm not too far behind. And, you know, we're just taking things conservatively, not trying to rush back to anything. So yeah, this is about 6 months post-surgery and I'm getting back to jogging now. And at PT recently, so I missed about a couple weeks of PT just because of my daughter being born and so just some schedule difficulties there. I recently started kind of doing hopping, bounding, that kind of stuff, like light plyometrics at PT. I wouldn't say my knee felt great during all that. Usually whenever I introduce a new phase of rehab, my tendon really doesn't take well to it. It takes a little while to adapt. So I didn't feel great the last few times. Nothing super unmanageable, but maybe like a 4 out of 10 pain, and or three or 4 around there. It's kind of hard to rank sometimes. But so I've been doing that a couple of sessions. I also did a single leg squat test recently, just to kind of gauge to make sure that I'm strong enough to start jogging. I'll link in the description just a video just showing a return to sport test basically. And instead of doing all of those different tests there, I just did a single leg squat, and I wasn't really held to the same standard because that's more of a getting back to sports rather than just going for light jogs. So just take a look at that in the description if you're curious going through this process. That's a pretty helpful video to know about and monitor for your own progress, just kind of gauge things. And probably in the next visit or two, I'll do another strength test where we hook up my leg and I do a nice like leg extension kind of force test to see how much strength I have here. Just the symmetry between the two legs. About 2 months ago, my quad asymmetry was about 43%, meaning that my left quad was 43% stronger. My hamstrings were about 30. And typically you want to be around 30% or lower before you start doing your return to jog routine. So I'm probably around there now. I haven't tested it in 2 months, but I'm sure I'm close to that at least. When I had it tested 3 months ago, I was more like 73% asymmetry, like huge. But that's like when I first really started doing strength work, like squatting and stuff, heavy lifting. So there was a huge jump early on there in that 1 month time frame. And I think now I should be at least 30%. It'll get slower, that gradual getting closer to more symmetrical strength. It gets slower and slower the closer you get to zero. And just based on talking with my PTs, usually around 10% at most. Lower than that though, like 5% and lower is like a normal muscle symmetry for your legs and whatnot. So, but yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm gonna do a little dynamic warm up. But today's workout is just 3 intervals, about a little over 1.5 miles, about 1.65 miles. And I'm doing 3 intervals of 5 minutes easy walking, just nice easy pace. 5 minutes speed walking. So it's about 15-30 minute per mile to 17 minute per mile pace. And then 30 seconds of jogging around 10-40 minute mile to 12-10 minute mile pace. So real short, just introducing the jogging, just seeing how things react and feel, just kind of slowly build it up over the next couple of weeks to longer durations. And yeah, let's get into it. Just working on the 5 minute easy walking portion here, nothing too fancy. Just getting the walk in. Sitting around 16-minute pace for the speed walk portion right now. Feeling pretty easy. Not too bad today. First interval not too bad, just a little weird. It's been so long since I jogged, so just gotta get that muscle memory back. I was a little bit slower too, but I think that's not too much of a concern right now. Just trying to get repetitions in, basically. Just finished a second jog interval. Not quite as bad that time. Still a little uneasy though. All right, so just wrapped up that easy little interval session. Really wasn't too hard. Probably a little distracted filming. I'm not really used to filming and exercising and all that stuff. Feels a little awkward still too. So make sure you drop a like for all these random clips I'm getting while performing exercise. The first interval for the 30-second jog definitely felt like alien almost, like just forgot what it's like to kind of jog on this knee. Second interval, I kind of knew that my first interval was a little slower than the targeted range for the pace, probably like about 13-minute to 14-minute range mile pace. So I just focused on putting more power through my knee instead of kind of like babying it a little bit. That felt a little better, just doing that, just kind of being focused on the knee. I didn't film that interval at all, so just wanted to focus on that. So in the third interval, again, I just focused on putting a little more power into it. If I'm not like perfectly straight, it just feels kind of weird being a little rotated or anything slightly. Just got to get used to it again, I'm guessing, just controlling that knee. Again, felt a little better. Felt like something needs like pop in there, or like just doesn't feel quite like it used to just yet. So just, I don't know, getting used to that. I'm sure that'll get better over time the more I do it. And I think it was a lot more mental than physical at this point. It's definitely some discomfort still, like a 3 out of 10, maybe 4 out of 10 at most. And then just kind of feeling like there's something there that needs to kind of like, I don't know, just get out of the way to kind of like make it feel better inside the knee. But yeah, so that one's over with, and just kind of short look ahead on my rehab. Just gonna continue doing the strength routines. I got a little squat rack for my garage now, so I can do stuff at home. So just continue that routine a couple times a week, 2 or 3 times a week. And then we're gonna do this same interval session, I think 1 or 2 more times this week for the jogging on my knee. I'm sure we'll try to get that duration a little longer, maybe like 1 minute next week, and then so on from there. So hopefully by end of October, which is only just 3 more weeks left in October, 2 more weeks. Hopefully by end of that, we're getting up to like maybe 5-minute jogging intervals. We'll see though. That's just a look ahead. So thank you for watching. If you're going through this rehab process, I wish you the best of luck. Hopefully things are going pretty well for you, and I'll see you next video.